Ladies and gentlemen, this is Joe's Classic Video Games back with another cool pinball repair video for you this evening. We have been working on this Gottlieb out of sight pinball machine. Oh, I'm supposed to say it. Out of sight pinball machine. And we've done several videos on it so far. We did a video where we kind of looked at the condition that it was in when we got it. We did a video where we worked in the mech board underneath it. Underneath the playfield. We did a video where we worked in the back box. We did a video where we worked on the bottom of the playfield. And then we did another video where we went through and started trying to fix things. Because all of that cleaning of all of the switches didn't fix anything. But we were able to do that for preventative maintenance at least. We just unfortunately didn't find the problem while we were doing that. So we started working through the schematics on the last video. And have got the thing up and playing, but it's just not playing great yet. So let's see if it's still cooperating. We did that last night. Basically, we were having a problem where it wouldn't start on ball one and wouldn't count the balls right. So we've got it doing that, but it's just not stepping through everything right. So let's see what happens here. Okay, so it says players 1 or 2 can play at the same time. It says 1. 1 is lit up, and then it says ball and play number 1. And it kicked the ball out. It reset the bonus ladder, and it reset all the scores. Okay, so let's see if we can play a 2-player game. If I hit start again, what happens? Okay, so now it says 1 or 2. The 2 is lit up. Can play at the same time. So it's a 2-player game. Okay, so let's work through it a little bit. I think one of the first things I want to address is some of the light bulbs aren't that great. So the gentleman, whenever he brought it to us, he had already done some of the cosmetic stuff, cleaning up the playfield, got it looking pretty good. So he didn't really want us to do that. But there's some stuff that, like there's some bulbs that aren't lighting up right. So I want to mess around with that a little bit. And then whenever we messed with it, we did the bulbs under the playfield, but some of them aren't illuminating very brightly and things like that. So there's one here that's out. And a lot of times if you touch the things, whoa! A lot of times if you touch the things, they'll work again, but it's, you know, dirty socket or something. So we need to do stuff like that. There's little things like there's a screw missing from the apron, so it's loose. The instructions are missing. Just a little minor cosmetic stuff that we'll mess with, but as far as scoring and all of that, we need to check all of that out too, but I don't know how. See how like 2 of these are lit and that one's not? I think that's how it's supposed to be though. So we need to just kind of systematically work through it, make sure everything's working right. So the light bulbs I want to do soon, one of the first things. And then also kind of the scoring. So we did a little bit of this on the previous video. So the 10, whenever you hit it, you're getting the chime. And it's rolling over, right? Okay, so that's cool. So now the hundreds is 8. We should be getting 500 each time, so it should go to 1300. 1800, 2300, 28, 33. That seems to be working just fine. Now these are 1000 when lit. Let's see if we can roll that 3 over to 10. It turned off. Oh, it was 100 when lit. I was hitting the wrong one. That says 1000 when lit. That's 100 when lit. So I did it right. How can I get more thousands? How can I get thousands, people? When lit, 10 times the target value. What is the target value? Let's try one that's not lit. 50. Okay, so when lit would be 500. Okay, that's working. Yeah, and see, this moved. So this one is now off. That one's on, but this one is also on. It's just not illuminated very well. That seemed to be working right, though. Let's see, on this side. A customer came in. Okay, so we've done the ones that are lit up. Let's try the one that's not lit up. Okay, it's proper too. There's a little stand-up switch up here. It says 50 or 500 and add bonus when lit. Oh, those should have been adding bonus the whole time too, and it looks like they were. So this one should be 50. Now a little secret, if you look, somebody was asking about the pop bumpers the other day with this same thing. If you look, it says if you hit this target, you get 50 or 500 points and add bonus when lit. So what that means is if it's not lit, you get 50. And then if it's lit, you get 500 and you add the bonus, okay? That's also exactly what it says up there. 50 or 500 and add bonus when lit. And it's exactly what it says over there. So all this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 switches that are just in parallel. So if any of those 5 switches are hit, the same thing happens. Now these, yeah, they're all the same because they all can light up and turn off. So look, there's more down here. 50 and 500. 50 or 500 and add bonus when lit. So that one's not lit. Same thing. And then this one, which is lit. Okay. So there's 7 switches on the playfield that do the exact same thing. So someone was asking about the pop bumper. On that particular machine, and I would say probably on this one too, there was only a couple coils for the pop bumper. So what happened was, when you hit one pop bumper, the other pop bumper would fire. So like we got the yellow ones here, watch this. See how they both fire together? And then this one, oop, I hit the switch. This one fires by itself. And doesn't score points, by the way. Oh yeah, it does. It's scoring. It's just not making a chime. So our 1,000-point chime is the first thing that we know isn't working right. Okay, so why do both of those fire at the same time? It's because of the way they were controlled back in the day. Since they use individual relays, if you've got 2 pop bumpers that do the exact same thing, you don't really need 2 actual relays to turn on the 2 pop bumpers, because that would be a waste. The only thing that would do is keep that one from firing when this one fires. And really it doesn't matter if that one fires when the other one fires. So if you can save, and literally it was probably $3, probably saved them $3 by not having to put an extra relay in there. Or maybe a little more, maybe $10. But they were able to save a little bit of money by just using one pop bumper relay to drive the 2 that score the exact same. But that means that they both fire at the same time. Since this one does 1,000 points when lit, and I guess maybe 100 when not lit, it needs a different setup because it needs to be wired a little differently. So that's that. Okay, so our 1,000-point chime isn't chiming. Let's see. I think that's true on everything, because whenever you lose the ball, it does the same thing. So we'll have to figure out why that is. I've got a good idea. This says special when lit. No, this says, yeah, special when lit. 500 and add bonus or special when lit. Both of the outlanes are lit. I don't know what the special is set on, but let's see. So we got our 13,020, and I thought I heard the knocker. Did I hear a knocker back there? Let's see what it does if I do it again. Yeah, I did not hear anything from the back that time. The knocker is down there. Kind of sounded like that. Okay, so that seems to be working fine as well. This one would just be 50 since it's not lit. Working fine. Let's see about the slingshots. Perfect. Ooh. This one says that it opens the gate. And it does open the gate. So now if the ball were to roll down through here, when it hits this switch, it should shut the gate again. And it did. Perfect. Okay. This one. Oh, look, there's even more switches. Look, the 50 and 500 add bonus when lit. It looks like it's pointing at this as well. Maybe. Okay. And it says opens ball kicker gate. Doon. So we got our 500. And it opened the ball kicker gate. And that worked just fine. 100 and advanced lit spot. And it is advancing them. Look how they did that too, where it goes backwards. Okay, so very cool. This says when lit 10 times target value, but it's not lit. So I wonder if that means this one will not be 10 times. So that one's 50. Okay, that one was 10 times. I don't understand that one going back and forth really. Let's see what the switch behind it does. 10 points. Okay, and let's see what happens when you drop all of them. Okay, we've dropped all of them, and they didn't reset. So I don't know, that doesn't seem right. That might be something. Okay, so 1,000 point isn't making a chime, and we want to see what the drop targets are supposed to do when you drop all of them. And the 10x target value, I kind of want to see what I'm missing there. Something seems weird there. 10x target value when lit. Let's see. What if, well, I can't now, they're all dropped. So that's all a little weird. And then the bonus. So double bonus when lit. We're at 15,000. So we should get 30,000 points. 2 at a time. Don't get much more perfect than that, folks. Let's look at the schematics. Okay, so we have a copy of the original schematics here. Now, if you need schematics for a Gottlieb pinball machine, a good place to get them is the Pinball Resource. They have the license, or the basically the permission to reprint them and sell them and stuff, and they make really nice copies of all of the Gottlieb schematics. So I'm going to show a couple things from the schematic, though, to show you kind of how you can read it and figure out problems. So one of the things that I've been wondering about is, when are the drop targets supposed to reset? So, you know, I was just thinking they're all down and nothing happened. So what makes them reset? So if you look here on the schematics, and we looked at this a little bit on the last video, there are the reset coils. And what turns them on is either the U relay or the P relay. That's the only way it can happen. So if the U relay turns on, both are tied together, it resets both drop targets. Or if the P relay turns on, both are tied together, it resets both drop target banks. Okay, so what makes the U relay turn on? Like I said, we looked at this last time. If I can find it. Here we go, it's right above it. The U relay is involved with the reset sequence. That's the Q is the bonus, and blah, 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 as the motor's turning, blah, blah, blah. But it cannot work unless one of the reset relays is pulled in. So if this switch is open, which it is the entire time the game is in play, the U relay can't pull in. So the U relay resets the drop targets when the game resets. So in the middle of the game, that will never be used to reset the drop targets. Now the other way is when the P relay pulls in, it resets the drop targets. So what pulls in the P relay? Well, we went all through this. It's the Trough Switch, which is a switch right there in the trough. Can you see it? Oh, you can see it, can't you? See it? That switch, the only way to hit that switch is when the ball is shooting from here to here at the beginning of the ball. So that turns on the P relay, and the P relay resets the drop targets. So if you drop down all the drop targets, they're not going to reset until you hit that switch. So at the beginning of each ball, the drop targets are reset. And you will notice as we play it that they reset whether or not any of them are down or not, because it's not really designed intelligently enough to even know if they're down in that part of the circuit, at least. So that part of it is working 100%. Okay. Now, what was the other thing? There was like a couple other things that we were going to look up. Oh, the 10 times target value when lit. All right, so this bounces back and forth, and I was saying that doesn't seem right. Why that doesn't seem to be working right, okay? So how would you figure that out? Well, if you look on this side of the schematics, it shows the light bulbs, okay? And see how that says left 10 times target value when lit light? And then up here it says right 10 times target value when lit light. So what makes that wag back and forth is whether or not the A relay is on. So if the A relay, which I'll bet is the alternating relay. Let's see if A stands for alternating. Yes, the alternating relay. So as that goes back and forth, it's turning on lights on this side and lights on that side, lights on this side, lights on that side. Well, it doesn't just turn on the lights, it has to make it work too. So if it says 10 times when lit, there has to be something to make that work as well, right? So if you look here, E and D are the 50 point and 500 point relays, or vice versa. One of them's 50, one is 500. Okay? If you look down here, these are your drop targets. Left drop target switch. Number 1, number 2, number 3, number 4, number 5. Number 6, number 7, number 8, number 9, number 10. So each one of those drop targets has a switch. Okay? This relay disc we worked on one of the videos, a couple videos ago. As this turns, this is what is turning on your light. Okay? If you look over here on the lights, you see that. The I relay disc, depending on where it is, it lights up a different light. And if you look, there is a line connecting, for instance, the number 1 left drop target light to the number 6 right drop target light. And it's like that right now, number 1 and number 6. That's probably number 5, actually. So we're at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 10, right? And it's just how they've got it wired and how they chose to do it, okay? So the lights are ran by the I relay disc, okay? And if you look at, where were we? If you look at this disc, the other side of the disc has to do with the scoring. So if, let's say, number 1 is lit up, when you hit it, it will connect through here and will turn on the G relay. Okay? The G relay is the add bonus relay. I'll look it up here. It's the 10 times target value and add bonus unit relay. Okay? So it will hit that. But it also hits, if you look, it just smashes these 3 together. So it also connects power from this side to this line, which comes up and gives you 50 points. You know, if this is that way, or gives you, turns it down this way and gives you 500 points if it's this way. So, depending on where the A relay is, which is what makes the lights move, you get 50 or 500. Okay? But depending on where the light is, you get G. So how many points does G give you? Okay, so this is the hardest part to understand. If G pulls in, so let's say that you're going to get D, which is the 50-point relay. So you're just going to hit one of them and it gives you 50 points. Okay, so I'll show you. We're at 48,050 right now. If I hit one of these, we're at 48,100. It gave me 50 points. So how did it do that? Well, I hit the target. It wasn't lit. So when the power went over here, that did not connect. So G was not turned on. So it came up to here, and the alternating relay was not in my favor. That was the side that wasn't lit. So we were up here, and it hit the D relay. The D relay turns on the score motor and gets it to start. And then, let me find it here. This switch is closed. So as the score motor's turning, this switch closes 5 times. Since that switch is closed, which is the 50-point relay, it sends power up through here and hit the 10-point relay 5 times. So it turns this on, and then the motor turns and it turns it off. And then the motor keeps turning and it hits it again. Bam, 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 bam. And you heard it, right? Now, if the G relay would have been on, the 10 times target value when lit, it would have been down here. So instead of doing that, it would have hit the 100-point relay 5 times. So it would have given me 500 points. Okay? So I hit the one over there that wasn't lit, I got 50. If I hit the one over here that is lit, I should get 500. And you do. But here's what here's the great bounty that they designed into it. Let's say, just for giggles, that number 10 is lit, because it is. So number 10 is lit. Oh no, let's do it the other way. Let's say number 5 is lit. Number 5 is lit. So when I smash all these together, it's going to go through here and it's going to turn on G. So G is going to flip from here. Both of these G's are going to flip. This one's going to flip to here and that one's going to flip to there because the G relay comes on. Okay? And then I'm hitting, since it's lit up. So now I'm going to hit that one, right? So the normal value is 50, and then whenever I hit the lit one, you get 500 because it's 10 times since it's lit, right? So it did the same thing, but it used the G relay to do it that time. It didn't use the A relay. So because I turned on G, it moved this switch here and sent my signal from the D relay, the 50-point relay, down to here and gave me 500. On the previous one, we did the same thing, but with the A relay, or I thought we did. Have we covered that yet? Yeah, up here. All right. So when D closed, since the A relay had turned on, we came down here, okay? So the A relay is now on this side. So now you've got, none of these are worth 50 anymore because they're all 10 times because that light's on. So all of these are 500. But the one that's lit is 10 times 500. So it's 5,000 points for the double lit drop target. So that's really cool. So if you think about it, there's only one of those that can do that. So one of those drop targets is always worth 5,000 points. But depending on what order you drop them in, you can screw that up. So if you waggle that back that way, well, now none of these would have been worth 5,000. Now the ones over there are. So if you don't hit them in the right order, you don't get the 5,000 points for one of the drop targets. So that's very cool. But what that also means is that's working just fine. Okay, and the other thing that I was wondering about was what happens when all of the drop targets are down? How come nothing happened? Well, something did happen. I just didn't notice it. See here where it says number 6 to number 10 sequence switch? That's saying when all 5 of those are down. On a previous video when we did Under the Playfield, we looked at that. There is a switch that closes if all 5 of them are down. And so that is called the number 6 through number 10 sequence switch. So if that closes, power connects through here. And then if you're on 5 ball, power connects up to here. And then you have to get the number 1 through 5 sequence switch to shut too. So you'd have to drop all of these drop targets. And if you did that, it would turn on the CX relay. If the game is on 3 ball, which ours is, you only have to get the number 6 through number 10 targets. Right? And that will turn it on. Or, if it's on 3 ball, this line here will just connect here. And if you get the number 1 through 5 sequence, either one, it will also turn on the CX relay. So if you get all 5 of those down on a 3 ball, it'll give you the CX relay. If you get all 5 of those down on a 3 ball, it will give you the CX relay. If you're playing 5 ball, you have to get all 10 down before it'll turn on the CX relay. And the CX relay, if you drop all the drop targets, is the double bonus when lit relay. So it had done that earlier, I just didn't notice what turned it on. So if you drop either those 5 or those 5, you get the double bonus when lit. So you know what that means? Everything on this is working. So we're all good. So I'm going to clean it up a little bit. I'm going to mess with some of the light bulbs. And we need to mess with the chimes. Oh yeah, that's right. The 1,000-point relay doesn't do its thing. So, I mean, the 1,000-point chime doesn't do its thing. So let's look at the chimes. All right, well, here is the chime unit. So one of the things you want to look for is to see if it's still spaced out from the metal, and it is. The grommets are still okay. Okay. And then here are the 3 coils. So we have a coil here for one of the chimes, a coil here for one of the chimes, and a coil there for one of the chimes. But if you look, see this wire over here? So it connects to the right lug. And then a blue jumper connects that line to the right lug of the middle one, and then to the right lug of the left one. And then see the black line connected to the right lug of that one? Okay. So there is a thinner line, a gray and black, it looks like, line coming to here. There's no connector there. And then there is a brown and black one there. This one here probably goes there. But they could all be out of order, but I don't know which one's which. This black line though, see how it's thicker and it's a different color? That's probably the ground for all 3 of those coils, and it just plugs in there. Or is that the ground for all of the coils and that one's in the wrong spot? Since that one looks different than the other 3, I think that one is the right one. So we're going to look on the schematics and figure that out. Okay, so the common wire to all of the coils is black. So that black wire should run to the tens chime, the hundreds chime, and the thousands chime. So the tens chime is blue and black, the hundreds is orange and black, and the thousands is brown and black. But I don't know what order they're in the machine. Just thinking about it, I think it's in that order. Tens. The tens would be the smaller one. Whichever one's the lower pitch, I think, is the lower denomination. So blue first, and then orange, and then brown. And they all have a black trace on them. Okay, so I believe it's supposed to go like that. So blue on the left one. Orange on the middle one. And brown on the right one. 10, 100, 1,000. Only problem may be, let's see, so 10, so it's backwards than I thought. So that's 10 points, 100, 1,000. Okay, but here's the problem. Here's my 10-point switch. Here's my 100-point switch. Nothing. Okay. I'm not getting 100 points. Now why would that be? It was just working a minute ago. It's because I swapped the 2 wires. So the 1,000-point relay, how have I got that? The 1,000-point relay was making it do it, but the 100 isn't. Something. It's messed up. Right? And my thousands doesn't work now. So I've made it worse. So now I've got 2 that don't work, okay? So I think this middle one may be messed up. And I had the hundreds making this one work, I think is what was going on. So they had the 100-point wire going here, making this one fire. The 10 is how it was. And they had the 1,000-point wire on this other lug over here where it shouldn't have been. And the 100-point didn't have anything hooked to it. So when I hook the one that was working over here to this one still doesn't work. So it could be there's a problem with the coil here. When I hook the 1,000 to this side where it goes, it also doesn't work. Okay. So blue, orange, brown, right? So here are our, you know, my southern drawl doesn't work that great on phrases like that. Here are our, here, H-E-R-E, R, A-R-E, our, O-U-R, point relays. Okay, so I noticed Kim, our buddy from the Goat Shed EM Pinball Repair Palace in Adelaide, Australia, I believe is the name of the town. I hope I didn't get that wrong. From Australia, has pointed out in a recent video that the N relay is always the lowest denomination on a Gottlieb pinball machine. You don't really have to memorize these letters, but it helps, you know, makes it a little quicker. So the N on this machine is the 10-point relay. So there is not a 1-point relay because they have a fake score reel for the ones that's just a 0. So this is the 10, and then the M is actually the 100, and the L is actually the 1,000, okay? So if you look, every time you score 10 points, the way the chime works is when it pulls in, it sends power. That switch closes up there on the relay, and it sends power down this blue wire. There's our same blue wire with a black trace on it. So look, notice its position. It's the top right switch, looking from the back. And they were good about doing this. So this is your 10-point chime. Look, here's our orange one. So this is your 100-point chime. Right? Now this was working when it was hooked to the other bar, the wrong bar. Right? And then here's our 1,000. Wait a minute. There's no wire connected. So it can't give you 1,000 points because whenever the connects, the wire is disconnected. So where is the wire? Right here. So at some point that has either broke or been disconnected or something. Right? So they've been chasing coil chime problems, it looks like. So I'm going to hook that back and see if that fixes the 1,000-point one finally, and then we have to fix the 100-point one, which must be the coil or a connection on the coil or something in that middle chime unit. All right, I put some heat shrink tubing on it and soldered it back. I think I figured out what's wrong with the middle one too. Old age, that's what's wrong with it. Don't ever get old, people. Stay young. Okay, so this is hard to see, but if you look up in there, basically there is a piece of foam that the plunger falls down on. And what's happened is, I don't know if you can see by my hand, since the middle one hasn't been used in 30 years, or however long it's been broke, it's stuck. So it's just stuck to the foam. So I think if I free it up, it'll probably work. So it's probably been working since we've changed the wire, but it's been going, and it just can't get its poor body to move. So I'm going to free it up and see if that gets us all 3 of our chimes working. All right, folks, we're going to play it a little bit. This is the part of the video I like to call Misery Loves Company. It's when all of the people that are haters get to tell us how they don't know how to have fun anymore. So this is the time for all the comments. Here we go. So I'm going to read the instructions, and then we can read all the comments from people who say, it's not fun. Oh, God. Oh, I like the new ones. I don't like that one. Oh, my butt hurts. Okay, out of sight instructions. Insert coin or press credit button to reset machine. Here we go. All right. Players take turns shooting as shown on back glass. So if it says 1 or 2. Points are scored as indicated. Yeah, buddy. Drop targets score 50 points or 500 points when lit. Lit drop targets adds 1 bonus value or 2 bonus values when 10 times light is lit. Completing either target bank lights double bonus value. Now notice we already figured all this out just by looking through the schematics. Double bonus value also lights on last ball in play. That was a common thing they did where they would make it where on the last ball they give you one last good shot. Bonus is collected when ball leaves the playfield. A tilt does not disqualify a player. Matching the last two numbers in the score to number that appears on back glass after game over is over, scores one replay. Oh, so yeah, the match on the previous video, it came up and it had two numbers. And I messed with it a little bit and it moved to just one number. I believe that's fixed because I haven't seen it do that since then. So, let's play it a little bit. Oh God, it's a drain monster. I don't think it's setting level. Ah, there's a light blinking. Somebody told me that I was imitating the people on the Saturday Night Live. I had to go back and watch that skit. I never saw that skit. That's how those people really talk that I'm mocking. I didn't know it was a skit on Saturday Night Live. Oh. Did you hear that? What? Was that 100? You heard that, right? There was an extra point. I think what happened was when the drop targets were going back up, it might have hit a switch and gave you an extra point right at the beginning of the ball. I heard something, but I don't know how many points it gave me. I think it might be a drop target. Just my luck. I went down to one that wasn't lit. I had a guy come in one time. He was buying the arcade game. You know what his complaint was? Monitor was too bright. I don't mean we had it adjusted like where you could see the retrace lines. No. He said the monitor was so vivid that it was hurting his eyes. But he didn't say it like that. He said it like, yeah, it's kind of hurting my eyes. All right, we got 49,390 points. So I want to keep playing it to see if it seems like it's giving me points every time the ball comes out once it resets drop targets. So see how there's 7 drop targets down right now. It seems like what's happening is right when the ball gets here, it's also resetting the drop targets, and maybe this, you know, if you saw those switches on the back of that, there's 3 of them that kind of smash together. It could be one of those is doing this a little bit and giving me some points. So we might be able to tell right at the beginning of the game because there shouldn't be any points. So let's see if it does it. Ah, I'm getting too many points. Fix it. Okay, kick the ball out. I got no points. So, I don't know. It's intermittent, people. If you're getting extra points, it's not the end of the world. Look, okay, I didn't get any extra ones. I always thought those were cool shots on any game with a drop target. I get people commenting all the time, those aren't fun. It's because you don't want them to be fun, people. If you want things to be fun, anything can be fun. Checkers is fun. It's one of the most fun games ever, and it's freaking checkers, right? But one of the fun shots in any game with drop targets is when you kiss the edge of a drop target and then keep going. So like if you hit this one or that one, you have the ability to hit it with just the curve of the ball and keep going, you know? That's cool as hell. It's a good feeling shot. No, I didn't hit the middle of the target. I just hit the edge. I don't know. There's a reason that these Gottliebs are considered the best EMs, because they were pretty freaking good. Look at that. Oh, God. Oh, God, the insert's not perfectly flat. Oh, God, I'm going to have to shake the machine slightly. You know I don't eat protein. Oh, God. Maybe I should call the attendant. Excuse me, young man, can you come over here? The ball's stuck. Yeah, that happens sometimes, buddy. You just got to give it a little bump. Oh, man, it might be broke. Let's put an out of order sign on it. I got to go back to smoking. Well, you know how they are. Oh, I almost hit the target. That's a drain monster. I wouldn't have that in my house. Now remember, I didn't do any of the cosmetic stuff. The customer specifically said he wanted to do all the cosmetic stuff and that he'd already done a lot of it. So we're just trying to get it to play well and to be fun. Ooh. Ah, the flippers aren't wide enough. There's a small crevice with which the ball can exit the playfield. I don't like that. It took my quarter. We got 26,170. The Whiners, I think that was their name, maybe. Was it the Whiners on Saturday Night Live? It's before my time, people. I didn't see it. I think it's, what was that guy's name? Ugh. Oh no! Oh no! There we go. Whew. Boy, that was close. They slid it right by me. 10 points. I got 10 points. That's what it was. It was 46.40 and that dung was 10 points. Now it's 46.50. Where would I get 10 points from? Oh, you know what? You know what it could be? Okay. So since if you're still watching this far, you're tech people probably, because I done pissed off all of the average people by complaining about them complaining. The score motor, when it's turning, and it's turning the whole time all this stuff's resetting, right? So the score motor, when it's turning, the way you get 50 points, so you get 50 points on one of the lit ones. Now this side's lit. I need to go back and watch to see if that jumped, right? So this side's lit. So the ones that are, no, I got that wrong, right? That side's the one that gives you 50. So the one that's not lit, the drop targets give you 50 points. Okay? But the way you get 50 points is it pulses the 10-point relay 5 times. And the way it does that is as the score motor's turning from home position to home position, which is 1/3 of a revolution. Right? So as the score motor's turning 1/3 of the way around, there are 5 little bumps on the impulse cam, or whatever they call it. So it goes ding, 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 ding. But I only got 10 points. But it could be that really it was trying to give me 50 points, but it didn't happen until the drop targets came up right at the end. So what makes the drop targets come up is the P relay, which we looked at earlier, which only gets hit when the ball's right here. So it could be that the score motor's turning, and it's about 1/3 of the way, it's almost to the home position, and then the P relay pulls in, knocks those suckers up, it hits the switches together on the way up, and because I've got one just a little bit too close, the thing vibrates or something, or hits it or whatever, and right as that cam is about to get home, it's on that last little impulse of the 5 impulses, and the switch is touching, and the impulse is touching, blah, 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 and ding, it gives me 10 points. I get the last 10 of the 50. I'll bet that's what's going on. So how do you fix that? Well, you could go in and check out the drop targets. It may be the ones on the right, and see if any of them are adjusted a little bit too close. Yeah, I'm getting worse as time goes on here. All right, let's play another one. Serious this time. I was kidding all those other times. I was just joking those other times. That's the score motor still turning. Come on now. Right down the middle. Hoot! It did it again. But this time the lit light is on that side. So there should be 500. What the hell? It only gave me 10 though. Maybe it gave me no, I don't know, people. We got to keep our eye on that. See, it didn't do it that time because they were already all the way up. I didn't hit them. Uh-oh. There's that in lane with that warped insert. Ooh. I haven't been able to get the kicker gate open yet. Okay, I'm watching the score for the 10 points. Oh, that's the end of the game. Okay, let's do it again. 20,370. Okay, so did you see how that went down? It can't do it at the beginning of the game. Because did you hear it went glunk, glunk? It did it twice. That's because the U relay resets them. Remember, we were just looking at these schematics. The U relay resets them when the game's starting, but then the P relay still resets it when the ball rolls over here. So it goes glunk as part of the reset, so that they're all the way up already by then. And so then the ball kicks out, and it does the P relay, so it does it again. But by that time, you know, as they fall, they hit the switches. Well, when they go back up, they hit the switches as well. If it's at the wrong time, it could give you points. But it can't do it when the game starts because they go up on the U relay as it's resetting, and the point relays aren't turned on yet. So what always does it is when the ball turns on the P relay, okay, right here. And it will only give you extra points if some of those are down and are reset at that moment by the P relay. But it can't when it first starts because they've already been reset by the U relay. We're learning. Now, if we keep messing around, we'll figure out exactly which one it is just by watching it, right? Because, you know, if it only happens when the third one's down, that's probably the one. Oh, right down the middle. What is it doing to me? I didn't get many points that time. Oh, look. Almost went right down the middle again. Oh, no. Well, I haven't been able to get a good game where I get all of the drop targets down or anything. Oh, come on now. I got a double bonus that time. That can't be the last game. I didn't do anything. All right, folks. Here we go. Here we go. Big whammy. Double whammy. What do they say? Double whammy. Ooh. Oh! Oh, look, that left... that left end lane, look how it's buried all the way. I don't know that that's supposed to be like that. Well, that's a pretty good first ball. Uh-oh. That was my shot there. You saw it. Boy, it's a lot better just with the chimes working. I got 2 that time. I think it's the drop targets, I really do. All right, well, once again, my best game was the very first game. So that's how I am a lot of times. So there you go, folks. I hope you enjoyed it. If you didn't, oh well. Maybe you'll find something else you like one of these days. But I'll bet a lot of you enjoyed it. And that's all that matters to me. As long as I'm slightly entertaining, I'm happy. Okay, so there you go. So leave your comments below. Let us know what you think. Let us know all the stuff I did wrong. And make sure to give us a thumbs up for taking the trouble to film it for you. We didn't have to do that. But we know that 99% of you are damn fine people. That's Woo! You should see some of the comments I've been replying to lately. That's why I'm talking about all this. Just these morons commenting on my videos sometimes. It's a small percentage. I have to keep reminding myself I shouldn't focus on the 1% like that. But I have to sometimes. They're just wrong, man. They're wrong about me being wrong, man. They're wrong twice, man. So anyway, it's all in the game, though, right? So we appreciate everybody that's been watching, even the haters. They can't help it that they were born. But woo! So thank you to everybody, especially all you lovely people that aren't haters. And I hope we haven't offended too many of the decent people with this video. So leave your comments. I can't wait to read them. And thank you to everybody that has been using our Amazon links. We've been telling you about that. There's a link down below to the website, Amazon.com. Now, some people hate Amazon and have vowed Amazon off. I hear you, people. I have no problems with that. You won't get any complaints out of me. But for those of you that are still playing footsie with the devil and are buying things on Amazon. Look, I find myself buying things on Amazon sometimes. I have to. Sometimes that's the place you got to get it, right? So if you're going to do that, though, use my link to go to Amazon, and it gives us a piece of whatever you buy. Now, I have tried to do this myself, and they can tell that it's me. So when we first signed up, I was like, oh, this is pretty cool. I'm going to get 3% back on everything that I buy. So I went and I bought something. It never showed up on my little list. And then I see something and it says bird food or something, right? And somebody emails me, hey, man, I watch your videos all the time. I just bought some bird food. It's like, oh, I saw it on there. I saw that someone had bought bird food. But that mobile home that mobile home door lock that I bought for our mobile home is not on there. What in the world? I have figured out they can tell it's me. I've tried it with different IP addresses. Now, I ain't trying to scam them. I know, and this was a long time ago. Long time ago. Right? But I was just testing it. Just seeing just how smart they are. They know where I'm at, people. You hear me? They know exactly where I'm at. So they know that I'm the one that bought that damn mobile home door lock. They can tell. Right? So I don't get 3% on my own purchases. But if you buy something, it gives me 3%. So this has been going on great. And I say 3%, that's an average. Some things it gives you like 8%. They tell me you're not supposed to talk about this, but I have not seen it in written anywhere that you can't talk about this. So that works out pretty good. So, and we, you know, whenever I'm making videos like this and I'm talking about all this crazy stuff and just making jokes and mocking people and all that, it's all in good spirit, people. I don't hate anybody. I don't want them to have anything horrible to happen to them. No, I want them to lighten the hell up, start enjoying life a little bit. Enjoy the damn pinball machine, people. Come on now, people. It's a silver. It's just a people. Think about it. It's just a little ball that you. People, it's not that serious. Come on now. Why are you doing that? You trying to make it not fun? It don't matter that the damn light bulb ain't working. Yes, I know that one ain't as bright. Don't worry about it. Who the hell cares in the grand scheme of things? Look, it's on. And these are bright. Why does that one have to be as... Come on, people. Come on now. You're driving me crazy with the nonsense that don't matter. But I think a lot of people, they're just trying to help. They're not trying to be jerks. But there are jerks. I have identified the freaking jerks. They're on there. The problem is when you start arguing with the jerks from a distance, the people that didn't see the beginning of the fight might think you're the jerk. So it's, you know, you got to walk the line there somewhere. But my whole point is when we're saying stuff like that, I'm just having a good time, people. I'm just enjoying life, enjoying YouTube, enjoying random strangers, you know, watching the videos and enjoying the machine that I'm having fun working on and playing. So we fixed this up for a customer. We're going to send it back to him. He's been calling us. He's impatient to get it back because he likes playing the damn thing, right? So he wants us to fix it and he wants to get it back so he can play it. Now, this guy ain't going to complain that that light bulb ain't as bright as that light bulb. It just ain't going to happen because he just wants to play it and have fun with it, right? He can tinker with the light bulb a little bit if he wants to. So our business is kind of built around that. We're not getting rich fixing vintage pinball machines. I'm spending a ton of time fixing them, but it's because I enjoy doing it. And we figured out a way by making these videos to make it more profitable for our business. Because, you know, we make money on YouTube. We make money on the Amazon thing. So whenever we fix this machine, we don't have to charge the guy a fortune to fix it. We can charge him, you know, a fair amount, do the best job we can, make some videos out of it, and we make a little extra money on that. So it allows us to take the time to fix it and try to figure out exactly why it's doing what it does. I'm just not fast at fixing them is the thing. You saw how slow I have to walk through the schematics. It's because I have to think out of my head, why would it be doing that? Like the little thing where you're getting extra points. Right? You got to think about that for a while. You have to think, now, how could that be happening? What could be causing that? What gives me 10 points? You know, why would it do it right when the ball is coming out of the out hole? It's because that's the exact moment that it's resetting the drop targets. So it's got to kind of be the drop targets. It could be that it's just so violently shaking the playfield whenever the drop targets come up that there's a 10-point switch somewhere that it's shaking close. Maybe, right? But stuff like that takes a little while to figure out. So you got to think about it. You got to work through it. You got to look at the schematics. And like I said, you're not going to get rich doing that. So that's why you don't see a lot of people repairing these, because for someone to do a very high-end job on this, it would cost quite a bit of money. Earlier in the video, I mentioned our buddies at the Goat Shed EM Pinball Repair Palace. They've made it very clear on their videos that they're not doing it to make money. They're doing it because they want people to enjoy the games, and they want people to learn how to fix them, you know. So they want to make these videos, and they also do training classes and stuff. If you haven't seen those guys, check out their channel. It's here on YouTube. We subscribe to them, so it's in our link on our channel, in our links of all of the people that we subscribe to. They're in there. It's the Goat Shed EM Pinball Repair channel. I call it the Palace because to me it looks like a palace. It's full of parts and old score motors and switches and relays and bulbs and just all kinds of stuff out of machines that they have hoarded in this shed. And whenever somebody brings them in a machine and it's missing a little switch, and Kim goes, "Hey, wait a minute, we got one over here," and they go dig through a whole, you know, shelf full of stuff, and they find just that little switch that came out of some machine 50 years ago or something, you know. To me, it's like a palatial place, you know. It's got all the good stuff that when you were talking fixing EM pinball machines. So, so make sure to check out their channel. They're nice guys. They're nicer than me. They don't complain about the haters. So check out their channel if you haven't. And then finally, last but not least, my favorite channel on YouTube is my brother Donnie's channel. My brother has his own channel on YouTube. And on this channel, we work on arcade games, jukeboxes, and pinballs. And we've got quite a following because people enjoy these old machines. And we're fortunate to get a bunch of them through here that we can film. And I said film, deal with it. Okay, we're fortunate to get a bunch of them through here that we can film. And Donnie doesn't do that, though. He does old buildings. He does vehicles, old cars, old trucks. He does farm stuff. He's got goats on his channel sometimes. So check him out. I'm over there with him a lot. We were just filming a video this weekend that we'll be putting up next week. So make sure to check all that out. Hope everybody had fun. I used to watch Little Jimmy Dickens on the Grand Ole Opry. And he would come out and tell all these dirty jokes and just funny jokes about his wife and how horrible she was and all this stuff. And then he would come out, and as he was leaving, he'd say, "Ladies and gentlemen, we would like to thank you for coming to our beautiful town of Nashville. And I hope that if I said anything this evening to offend you, that you do not take it as such. It was meant purely for entertainment.
Hall of Famer, little Jimmy Dickens.
Thank you very much. I appreciate it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you very kindly. Well, sir, y'all make a little guy stand tall when you do that. We appreciate your kindness, ladies and gentlemen, tonight. I'm sure I speak for everyone here tonight when we say that we hope that you've enjoyed the country music entertainment here tonight, ladies and gentlemen, and that sometime in the future we might have the added pleasure of coming back and being with you again, when our one aim will always be to bring you the best show that we know how to present in our own simple manner. If we say or do anything during our performance with our little jokes or anything to embarrass anyone, it's not done intentionally. Everything we do is for your entertainment, and we hope that you accept it as such. Come and see us at the Grand Ole Opry, and maybe while you're there you'll take a tour of the Home of the Stars. And if you get by the residence of little Jimmy Dickens, let me assure you there will be no walls built around my house. There will be no security guards on the Dickens residence gate. You come and see us, because without you we couldn't live among the stars. Thank you for what you've done for us. Let us share what we might have with you. Thank you for coming. God bless you.